Here are some tips and tricks that you need to know to get the most out of your Apple Watch. So first up, if you press the digital crown, it'll open all of the apps on your Apple Watch. And this works same as your iPhone. You can long press and actually move these around if you want to reorganize them so that the ones you use most frequently are front and center. If you don't like this view though, and you find it hard to find what you're looking for, you can go all the way to the bottom and hit list view to have them listed alphabetically in a normal list, and it'll remember your choice. So the next time you press the digital crown, it'll open back up in the list view because that's what you selected last. If you spin the digital crown, or if you swipe up from the bottom of your screen, you'll access all of the different widgets. And if you've never customized this, there could be a lot here that you don't actually care about. So if you go down to the edit button, you have the option of deleting any of the ones that are there and that you don't want to see, or pinning. The top right, there's a yellow pin to pin at the top. You can press the plus button to browse any others that are available. If you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see widget suggestions, and you can turn this off. So if you don't want your Apple Watch to suggest random widgets throughout the day, you can just turn that off. And so the way I have it set up, I can scroll through to see different information, or with the quick widgets at the top, I can quickly just press to start a workout. If you double click on the digital crown, it'll open up your app switcher, and you can always swipe to the left to close any apps. If you have an Apple Watch Series 9 like I do, or even newer, there are also now some gestures that you can do that helps you control the watch with only one hand. So for example, if I'm in an app like the weather app, and I just tap my index finger and thumb together twice, it'll cycle through the information and even scroll through the information in the app, which can just be really helpful if you only have one hand. And it'll also work on things like answering a phone call, pausing your music, or even replying to a message. So if your hands are full, this is definitely one to remember. Another one to know is the wrist flick. So if ever you wanted to dismiss a notification or get back to the home screen really quickly with one hand, all you would have to do is flick your wrist back to clear the app. Another one to know is cover to mute. So if ever you're getting a phone call or there's some sound coming out of your watch that you want to quickly silence, you can just hold your palm on the watch for at least 3 seconds to mute the notification. But it'll also do things like if you are in an app, let's say it's a really bright app or the flashlight and you're in a dark room, it's distracting, you can just put your palm over to bring you back to your home screen and mute that app. Speaking of the flashlight, so if I do click on the side button to open my control center, the flashlight is here. And if you wait a second, it'll come on full brightness, but you can also use the digital crown to control the brightness if it's too bright for you or you need to manually make it brighter. And you can also swipe through. So there's also a strobe light as well as a red light, which can help in really dark areas if you don't want to be blinded by the light. And then again, I can just cover to get back to the home screen. The control center is another place that you can customize to have quick access to various things. If you want to silence all notifications so your watch doesn't make noise, you can select that button. I almost always have it selected. You can change your focus modes, access the flashlight, do things like put it in airplane mode. That's all pretty standard. One that I use all the time is find your iPhone. So if I can't find my iPhone but I'm wearing my watch, I can press this button and it'll make a very loud noise on my phone. If my phone was further, it would also kind of point me in the direction of where the phone is and tell me how close I am to it. Another thing you can do though to sometimes make it easier to find your phone is if you hold on that button, it'll also make the flash on your phone go off, which can just make it a little bit easier to find if it's in the bottom of a bag or in another dark room. Another super helpful one is using your Apple Watch as a remote for the camera on your iPhone. So if the camera button isn't already there, you can just hit edit on the control center and then the plus button in the top to find the camera. So when you press the camera button, it'll connect to the camera on your iPhone. Then you'll actually see a little preview of what the iPhone camera is seeing. So right now you're seeing my overhead camera and my ceiling. And then you can just press the shutter button, it'll give you a 3-second countdown, which is super useful, and then it'll take the picture. And if you press the 3 dots in the right, you can actually customize some of the camera settings that you don't have to go back to your phone to do it manually. You can change the camera, turn flash, live photos. It's very, very helpful, and you even have the little preview button so you can see any of the pictures you took to make sure they look good. One of my favorite Apple Watch features is actually the ability to use it as a remote for your Apple TV. So I've added it as a widget here. I can just click Control Apple TV. It makes you select which Apple TV in case you do have multiple. And then as long as it's an Apple TV set up on the same Apple ID, same Wi-Fi, it should be listed. And you can do things like play, pause the content. You can use this as a trackpad. There's a back button. You can even use the digital crown to control the volume on your TV. So if ever you lose your Apple TV remote, or you just want to adjust the volume or maybe even change the channel when someone else has the remote, you can do so with your Apple Watch. Now, if we go into the settings, there's quite a bit we can do in here. So the first thing is in the control center. If ever you wanted to reset it because you customize it too much and just want it back at the default, you can come in here to reset the control center layout. If you go down to gestures, this is where you can turn on the gestures like the double tap or the wrist flick, cover to mute. Make sure all of those are turned on. If you go into general and down to orientation, you can select which wrist you're going to wear the watch on. But if you go down here, you can actually select if you rather have the digital crown on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side. So when you press the left, it'll actually rotate the watch, and then you can wear it this way. And I know some people prefer that because, especially when they're working out, if they're doing push-ups or plank, the digital crown doesn't dig into their wrist as much if they wear it with the digital crown on the opposite side. So you can customize that there. Another quick one while we're here is if ever you are in an app or even settings and you're at the bottom and you quickly want to get back up to the top, you can just click on the time in the top right corner and it'll bring you right up to the top of the list. Now this is a fun one. If we go out of general and we scroll down until we find clock, you can turn on speak time, which means anytime I hold 2 fingers on my Apple Watch screen,
15:09.
It'll speak the time back to me. Now, while we're in the clock settings, another thing you can do is you can actually adjust the time visible on your watch so that if you rather your watch be set 3 minutes early, 5 minutes early, whatever it is, so that you're always early, you can come in here and just use the wheel to select how early you want it to be. And it says all alerts and notifications will still come in at the actual time. It's really just the time on your watch face that will be set a little bit early so that you're not late. Now, same as on your iPhone, you can always ask Siri what song is playing, but if you don't actually want to have to speak that out loud, let's say you're somewhere public, I've placed it as a widget here so that I can just tap and press when I want to know what song is playing. You do have to set this up in settings first. So go back into settings and down to privacy and security, then down to microphone, and then just make sure music detection is toggled on. And then that way you'll see it as an option when you go to add a widget here. And the next time you're out and want to know what song's playing, you can just press this and it'll tell you which song it is without even having the Shazam app downloaded. And then you've probably seen Apple's Emergency SOS commercials or ads with the Apple Watch. These are newer features that are extremely important whenever you do need them. Hopefully never, but they're there in case you do. So if you go back into settings and down to SOS, just to make sure they're all turned on. The first one is hold side button. So if ever you hold down this side button for an extended period of time, it can call emergency services quickly for you. The next one is fall detection. So you have 2 options here, whether you want it always on. So if you do have mobility or balance issues, you might want to put it always on, or the other option is only on during workouts. So if you are wearing the watch and it detects that you've had a hard fall, it can call emergency services for you. And then there's also the crash detection. So if ever your watch detects a big impact while you're at speed and motion, like in a crash, it can contact emergency services. And with any of these, if you do have emergency contacts set up with your medical ID, it can notify them as well. Let me know which of these Apple Watch features will be the biggest game changer for you. And if there's any you want to teach me, leave them in the comments down below. That's it, and have a great day. Bye.